It's a rainy winter day, or I guess it's not winter yet, but it's a rainy day in Jerusalem. And I'm walking back home. I decided to treat myself, and I went to a sushi place, which I'd walked by before a lot, and I didn't realize it was kosher, so I decided to try it. I took a day off. I took the rest of the week off from work, so I wanted to have a little fun, and I went to the sushi place, and like one of my very favorite foods is pad thai, and I don't know why I keep trying to find good kosher pad thai, and I just never find it. At least here, there's a place in Tel Aviv called Nini Hachi, which is like Japanese, but they also have Thai food and stuff, and it's actually pretty good. And that's the best one I found here in Israel so far, but honestly, I haven't had super good pad thai since I stopped eating at non-kosher restaurants. And this one I will not say where it is because it wasn't very good, but I spent 121 shekels, which is, I looked up, it was like $32 for really one of the worst pad thais ever, which was kind of a bummer. It tasted like sriracha sauce, which I actually really don't like sriracha. I know most people love it, but it had this like ketchup-y taste, and it was kind of weird. It's not exactly what I would call pad thai. Here, if there's basically rice noodles and stir-fried, they'll call it pad thai. So I'm glad I tried it though. I also got salmon sashimi, which that was actually excellent. So that was a good meal. It's rainy now, and I don't know, kind of don't feel like going home right now. So I'm just kind of walking down Jaffa Street. This is the scene. And it's Hanukkah this week, and I still need to actually get my oil candles, my little oil cups, so maybe I'll do that right now because I don't feel like going home yet. I had a fun day today because I actually did a professional video shoot. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it yet or not, but I'll show you guys the video when it's ready. It was really fun. So funny thing is that I have actually, one second. I've been professionally filmed. I've been professionally filmed 2 times in my life before today, and literally both times that I did it, it was so awkward on camera that they didn't use it. That's how bad that's how awkward I am when it's not, just me doing my own thing on YouTube and sort of can do retakes and edits and stuff. I can get pretty awkward. So Baruch Hashem, today was not awkward. At least I don't think it was. And I was interviewing people, so I think that helped a lot because it kept it a little bit more natural. I am in Kikar Sion, and they have the big Hanukkah out, which is nice. Now it's really starting to pour. Walking down Ben Yehuda Street, and yeah, maybe I should go home because it's starting to pour, but I'm actually glad to have, well, it's nice when the rain comes. I just like it when weather changes a lot, so I don't really mind it so much, except my feet are getting wet. Yeah, it's just been a while since I've done random videos, and I was just kind of in a video day today, so I figured I would just say hello and capture a little bit of the night scene, the night vibe. It's been, I live in Jerusalem, so it hasn't been too crazy during the war. Obviously, aside from the first day, really, but we have our sirens are actually in zones, so all of Yerushalayim doesn't get, basically if a rocket comes, they'll have the sirens and you run to a safe room. I've only really had to do that, aside from October 7th, I've only had to do that really when I've gone to Tel Aviv, which there it's constant. I just saw on the news how there was a rocket that went into a school, like an elementary school, and then I saw another rocket just out in the public street. So over there, it's definitely more dangerous. And here in Yerushalayim, because we're so close to Har HaBayit and Al-Aqsa Mosque, obviously, so we're a lot safer because people are not really shooting here. So it's been kind of a a weird time, obviously, but I've been really happy to be here still and not thinking for a second of leaving. I think that's a lot of people are curious about that or ask me how my family feels about me being here in Israel, but I'm grateful that they didn't hound me too much. Like, obviously they wanted me to come home when the war started, but they got a sense that I was, you know, ready to hunker down and stay put, and they know I'm safe, so I've been staying here. Ooh, I don't know if you can hear that. Thunder, maybe some lightning, getting some thunder. So I have a little bit of time to kill. Yeah, it's nice thunder. But since it's raining so much, I was gonna get my oil, but I guess I'll skip that. I'm gonna go home. I have a shiur at 7:30. I started taking these 2 shiurs at the Beit Chabad. I'm not like, I wouldn't call myself a Chabad person, but I really like Chabad. Like, I like Hasidut. I love Hasidut. So it's always interesting to learn from Chabad. And I started taking 2 classes. One of them, I don't know if you guys have heard of JLI, stands for Jewish Learning Institute, and I think that's Chabad's kind of curriculum, I guess, in a sense. I think it's all Musar. I'm not really sure, but I started taking a JLI class, and it's called How Happiness Thinks, and it's been fun. It's like a 6-part class, and you like have a workbook and everything, which is really fun. So I started doing those classes at the local Beit Chabad, and there's another class. I only went to one so far, and that's what the class tonight is. It's just a general Hasidut class. So I don't know what the theme last time. My gosh, I don't even remember what we learned last time. That's the thing about learning. It's like you can honestly just forget as soon as you finish the shiur sometimes. It's crazy. It's so hard to not just learn, but it's hard to remember things sometimes. I'm listening to shiurim all the time. It's like I listen a lot on YouTube, but I'm trying to go in person to shiurs more because I like learning in a physical environment, and it's nice to be, you know, part of a community and such. And I still don't really have, I don't have friends here. I just don't socialize. I don't hang out. And I'm very, very busy. So I shouldn't say busy. I'm very occupied. So for me, going out to classes, it's a good way for me to just connect with humanity and be out in the world. And I think that's been really nice to just be in physical environments. And also because I work from home, it can be tough for me just being in my little shell, in my bubble. Like I can do that for a long time, so it's good to force myself out. Alrighty, I'm almost home. Sorry for the blinding light. I'm gonna go in. Let me talk to you guys inside. This is my new mezuzah. And my home sweet home. My feet are wet. Okay, I'm back. So I did make a video this week, and what keeps happening on this channel lately, for like the last year, or I don't even know when the last time I was really consistently posting. Honestly, when I was consistently posting was when I wasn't working, and maybe that's just has most of like that. I guess that's most of the reason why I'm not posting consistently, but it's just really time consuming. You have to edit the stuff, you have to upload it, and just kind of a pain. So I sort of stopped doing it. But also I keep, like, not keep, but every now and then I've been making videos and then I'll delete them or realize like, it's not so interesting and I want to share it. So I had another video like that this past week or like last week. I went to Sderot and Ofakim, which are communities in the south of Israel. And I went there with work because we have been doing some fundraising since the war and supporting some of the communities and some of the different causes of recovery efforts, relief efforts around Israel. So we went to the south to look at some of those communities, and It was really interesting, and I don't know, basically I kind of just wanted to share that moment, so maybe I'll still upload it, I'm not sure, but I did a video about that, and now I'm sitting here thinking my energy was kind of weird in that video, and maybe I won't share it, but this has been like a big, I don't want to say issue, but it's been a thing for me lately, really trying to figure out what's worth sharing. And I'm not the type of person who, I don't love using social media, basically. I use it as a tool. For me, I'm a professional marketer. That's my trade, that's my profession. So I use it as a tool. And I struggle a lot with just like what I want to share and what's worth sharing, because everyone overshares nowadays, and it's like everyone wants to have an opinion about everything, and they always just, I don't know, it's like what's worth sharing. So that's been kind of just a lot of times for me, if I feel like I make a video, at least in the past, it was more like if I made a video about a topic I wanted to comment about and had an opinion about, and I felt like, if I felt, at least at the time, that I was, that video or whatever message I was sharing was a Kiddush Hashem, then that's great. And like that was sort of my barometer, my litmus test as to whether I would upload something. And then if it kind of wasn't a Kiddush Hashem and it was just fine, or just kind of, just not great content, I would just not share it. I don't know, but I'm making this random video, maybe because I have the time since I'm not working today, which is nice. But also kind of starting to go back to a little bit more of the genesis of this channel, which was me really wanting to capture random moments, and not just random moments, but really, different stages of my Jewish journey, my life, and it's just kind of a random day, sort of. So I thought it'd be something, I don't know why. It's like, why do we do anything? Why do we do anything? Yeah, I guess I'll share this past week. Actually, in one of that JLI class, the Chabad class, the class is called How Happiness Thinks. And the last class really was very helpful for me, because we were talking about, struggling, like treating struggle as a source of joy and being grateful for our struggles. And something about the way it was framed was just a little bit different for me, and it was really helpful, because I had this constant struggle with tikkun and perfection and self-perfection and self-nullification and just all these ideas in Jewish thought, in personal development and spiritual development and growth. It weighs so heavily on me. Like, I'm very mission driven when it comes to like my spiritual mission, and I feel like, literally, like, there's nothing more important in life than to rectify yourself and to refine yourself and to serve Hashem, and that everything I do in my life, like, I want it to be about avodat Hashem and my personal tikkun and just growing and changing and getting closer and closer to Hashem. And that's really like my ultimate goal, my ultimate sense of why I'm here. And I take it so seriously because it's just my personality. I'm like a very intense person. So I also think, most most gerim, converts, if you want to use that word, most of us tend to be kind of like intense, right? Like it's kind of a funny stereotype about converts that we're just very spiritually intense people. It's kind of like, same thing with Bali Chuvas. We're just, we're in it. So I have a bit of that. I can be very zealous and intense, but it's a lot of pressure, and it's really, sometimes you just need to, I don't know. I guess basically the class was explaining how we're designed that way, and that, not only should you take joy in it, but you should understand that Hashem didn't create you to be perfect. He created you to struggle with the idea that you're not perfect and to aspire for that perfection. And that the point is not so much that we achieve and attain that level of perfection, because we're human and we have, multiple levels of the soul that are really competing with each other. technically there are 5 levels of the soul, but we're focusing mostly on the nefesh, which is the lower animal soul, and the neshama, which is the higher godly soul. So these two forces are just wrestling with each other constantly, which is where we get our name, Israel, to wrestle. And we have this wrestling, struggling, these opposing forces within ourselves, and that's by design. And the way the class framed it was helpful for me, realizing that Hashem doesn't need perfection because he is perfect. So why would he create something that he already is? And by nature, in a sense, everything is Hashem, so that's sort of a different level. But in essence, he created something and derives pleasure, divine pleasure, so to speak, from us struggling and even momentarily having those small wins when we do pick the right path, when we do the right thing, despite our constant struggle and desire to not do the right thing. So I don't know if I just said that, as nicely as I understood it at least, but it was very alleviating. It was like a nice relief for me to think about it like that, to understand that, if I can just struggle and once in a while have that win, that's giving Hashem pleasure, and that's what's pleasing to Hashem. And it's not that I have to feel like I'm never hitting the mark, like I'm never gonna be perfect. But that's kind of the point. Yeah, that's kind of the point. And so that was an important lesson for someone like me who takes this whole spiritual development, tikkun, maturation process a little, I don't want to say too seriously, because it is serious, it is important, it is ultimately why we're here, but it's the process and the struggle that counts and is really why we're here, not the end goal, in other words. So I think I need to chew on that more, and I need to sit with that and just and embrace it, I guess. So, it doesn't change anything, doesn't mean that I'm not going to try to aspire for spiritual perfection, because even if you never get that, get that carrot, you're still chasing it, and the chase still matters. And I don't know, it's what drives me, it's why I'm here, that's why I do what I do, how I live, just everything. So yeah, once in a while though, it's like you have to let go a little bit to feel human, and to feel to feel human. Like even me eating that very mediocre pad thai, which is too bad, but I was like, I just want to eat something fun today. And I hate, I shouldn't say hate, that's a bit aggressive, but I wish that I wish I just ate things for fuel, and that I didn't care what things tasted like. But that was actually the other class of this happiness series before this week, was talking about how we should appreciate all of life's pleasures, and how actually no, I'm getting this confused with the book I read. But anyway, this book was also talking about this concept about how there's a purpose to why things taste good and smell good and feel good. They didn't have to be that way. Hashem could have made the world black and white. He could have made everything, he could have not given us a sense of smell, for example. But all these different flavors and textures and pleasures are not all to be shunned. It's part of the experience. And if we can use these things, and actually elevate them and take pleasure in them in a proper way that makes us thank Hashem for them, then there's nothing wrong with them. So I know that sounds kind of obvious, but I struggle with that too, because I just totally, I romanticize asceticism. And I guess, that goes with my intense nature and stuff. So I feel like I'm in a constant battle and constant struggle of, I've talked about this before on my channel, about struggling between ruchnius and gashmius, spirituality and physicality, materiality. And that's just a constant struggle in my life. And I'm trying to strike that balance where I take pleasure in things and, am able to thank Hashem for them and embrace them, but not let them rule me so much. So yeah, I'm just constantly wrestling that. And I guess to the point of
this class this week, maybe I'll always be struggling with that, and that's actually a beautiful thing to struggle, better than just being complacent or just not cognizant of that even being an issue, I guess. So yeah, I think a lot of living here in Eretz Israel is like, at least for me as an American, I can say this, it's a big part of the struggle and the challenge of living here in Israel, because it's not America, you know, it's not as comfortable, frankly. It's not, you know, it's not as material, even like shopping, like even groceries. It's just, there's less variety, you know, we're in the Middle East, so it's not like, you know, we don't have as many things imported. In America, you have everything. You have access to everything, the highest quality, the best stuff, like just, you know, materiality. That's, you know, that's America. And honestly, I just passed my 2-year Aliyah anniversary, like I think it was last Shabbat, no, 2 Shabbats ago. And so it's been 2 years, and I'm still adjusting in that sense. I'm still getting more comfortable with things here. And I mean, I feel completely 100% at home here, and I actually feel way more at home now. Thank goodness. Like, I feel way more at home here in Israel, especially Jerusalem in particular, than back in the States, which is really cool, and I love that. But at the same time, I'm still adjusting. I'm still getting comfortable. I'm still finding myself like missing access to things and just commerce and that kind of stuff, and like, you know, silly stuff. But you know, it's a process, and I'm still going through that. So yeah, I guess life is just a big struggle. That's like what, you know, that's like a Buddhism thing, that life is suffering, and I think that's true. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing, though, especially if you realize that we are suffering by design. That's the thing. That's the big nugget from this week for me. And I like that. I like that idea a lot. I like the idea a lot. Yeah, so continue to put in the effort, but at the same time, as much as I feel like, you know, I have this internal struggle, like this constant existential tension, constant. And, you know, that's more my internal worlds, but my outer world is amazing. And, you know, don't take it for granted, it can change at any moment. But I have to say, my life here has been pretty amazing, and even really magical. And I'm still 2 years in, like, literally just now walking down the street in the rain, like, just like, wow, I live here, it's amazing, and I can't believe I get to be here. And so all of that has been amazing, and work's going great. Sorry if I'm running a stuffy nose. Work's going great. I'm getting more involved with my shul, which is really nice. I'm getting to know the community a little bit more. Like I said, I'm taking some different classes, and I just saw some nice lightning. And just things are good here, and I'm comfortable. And even though I said like there are certain discomforts, but I love my home, I love my building, I love my neighborhood, I love Yerushalayim, I love little things like taking the train to Tel Aviv. Like, there's just so many amazing, like, cool, awesome things about being here, and I'm like soaking it up. So I'm still really happy to be here, and every day is really exciting. Even like the most random days, like, it's good. I really enjoy it. And being here during the war has made me that much more grateful to live in Israel and to be here and to have, I can't even say, you know, I don't want to have the audacity basically to say that I have the merit, the zchut to be here now. It's like I feel like I must have had merit in like past lives to be able to live here, because it's like how did I pull this off? How did this even happen? It's like I'm not going to, but I could literally cry just thinking about it, but it's good. So I'm just sitting here waiting for the rest of you guys, waiting for... Okay, I'm getting emotional. Waiting for the rest of everyone else to come here to Israel. That's gonna be amazing. And it feels like more and more that things are unfolding in that way. And one of the most touching things I've seen like throughout the war. You know, you hear all these amazing stories, and really you see, you know, different ways of people coming together. But the thing that really moves me so much is seeing people making aliyah during the war, especially at the start of the war when things were extra scary, extra unknown, and just seeing people hoping that they can come here and live here. It's just, wow, you know, it's really powerful. So I've said this before and I'll say it again, but if any of you guys are even considering coming here, it's for sure the time, and we're all waiting for you. And I'm excited for that. I'm really excited for that. And as horrible and painful as this war and the process of this war has been, which we're not even done with, I've just been seeing such encouraging signs that we're progressing cosmically. And that's what keeps me going. It's what makes me excited and makes me continue to have my own struggles and continue to work on myself and continue to really prepare myself, I guess. So that's my life here, and I'm really just, like I said, really grateful and honored to be able to do this work here in Israel already. And I don't know what more I can say. I feel like I feel like most of the last videos I've done, I've been crying at some point or the other, but I mean, it's just, you know, what can I say? I'm not gonna make excuses for it. It's good stuff. It's good tears. Yeah, that's it. I guess this is actually a way longer video than I thought I would do. And I kind of regret well, no, it's good. I feel like I'm shooting these things on my phone more now. I did a few Instagram reels. They were a little bit more for work, but just kind of takes the pressure off when it's just on your phone, and it's a little bit easier too. So maybe I won't even edit this. Maybe it'll be very minimally so. And yeah, that's a little moment in time for me. So Chag Sameach for everyone. Hopefully, I think I'll upload this before Hanukkah. And I hope you guys have a really amazing Hanukkah, and I'll see you guys later. Shalom Aleichem.